Hi there, this is Brian Banoka with ChargeOver. I'm here today to walk you through a general getting started and tutorial. ChargeOver in and of itself is a billing platform, typically sitting somewhere between your front end sales process and your back end accounting. Oftentimes, ChargeOver is being utilized to automate your accounts receivable tasks. So that is everything from creating customers, invoices, running payments, adding late fees, processing fees, follow-ups, reminders, and then syncing all of that information between the various platforms that are connected. What I'm going to do is go through a little bit more about this ChargeOver layout on our dashboard page and how you can think about navigating the platform. I'll then go through creating a product, a customer, a subscription. We'll invoice that subscription and we'll pay it. And then I'll go through some additional items, features, and integrations. So to start out on this main page, the first thing we're going to look at is our left-hand side. When you have a paid live account, this is where you're going to be doing all of your work day to day. So pulling customer information, updating their subscriptions, creating invoices, running payments, going into the report center, reviewing AR, RevRec, income by product, and many other different reports that you would be using to view the status of your customers and give you the most information to help make strategic decisions within your business. On the upper right-hand side, this is more about the account settings in and of themselves. So the person icon goes into your billing and your personal information. You could update that information. You could adjust your company information. The gear icon just to the left of it is the actual ChargeOver account settings. This is where you would update what features you're using, integrations, and just general specifics. The bell icon to the left of that is notifications. And the star icon is what's new in ChargeOver. On the upper left-hand side of the screen, we've got a couple other items. The orange plus button is a shortcut to create something new from within any screen. The magnifying glass is searching all of ChargeOver. And this clock is recent changes that have been made. So to start off, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a product. So we're going to go to products, new product. Now, if you were to go with ChargeOver, we would import your products either from a CSV or you would push them across via our REST API. In this case, I'm going to create this product from scratch. Do gold subscription plan. For this gold subscription plan, I'm going to set a description as recurring monthly. It's a little redundant for what I'm going to set as a monthly subscription, but it's just a placeholder here on this field. It could be set whatever you like. If the product is taxable, we will mark it as such here. And then down below, we support a varying number of pricing models with ChargeOver. Everything from flat pricing all the way up to usage pricing. If you are looking at doing some usage pricing models, it's often a good idea to chat with our team just to get an idea of what the best way is to configure that. In this case, I'm going to set a flat pricing for this product of $250. From here, I'm going to save the product, and now I've created a product. So the next thing for us to do is to create a customer to charge. So I can go to customers and hit this new customer button and start the process. But instead of doing that, I'm going to hit this orange plus button in the top left. It is a shortcut to create something new. Because I know I want to create a subscription for the customer right after creating the customer, I have these automated workflows here at the bottom that will allow me to do that. And again, it's just going to save me a couple extra steps and a couple extra clicks through the platform. So I'm going to create this shiny marketing customer, and I'm going to set myself as the contact. And because I selected that automated workflow, it is then going to bring me to the subscription creation page for my shiny marketing customer. So from here, I'd be able to select my gold subscription plan. And you can see that it's pulling in our description and our rate, but let's say the rate needs to be different. This is a legacy customer and they should be charged $200 a month. Changing either the rate, the pricing table or structure, or the description is just for this customer, this line item, this subscription. It doesn't actually change the default that we had previously just set. And then from here, each of the line items, there's a bunch of customization based on how you are invoicing your customers, whether or not you need to prorate this product and bill in advance or in arrears, whether or not this should be a one-time charge, or maybe it's for 6 months, or maybe you need to skip the first month because you're doing the first month free. A ton of different options you can configure. You can also add multiple line items, and we support discounts as well. So instead of just editing this and adjusting it down to $200, I'm actually going to change this back to $250, but I'm going to give a one-time $50 discount because they're a legacy customer and I want to show them a little goodwill. And personally, if I'm going to give a discount, I want the customer to know they're getting a discount. So we're going to make it super obvious, but I will select this discounted line item and I'll set the duration as 1. That way, after the first month, it's going to charge the full rate of $250 every month therefore. Once I have all my line items configured, on the right-hand side, there's going to be more details about the subscription itself. In my account, monthly is the default cycle, but if you need to change that or modify that for this customer, you can select the appropriate cycle. We also support payment plans and different payment schedules with subscriptions as well. So where this is commonly used is, let's say you have a 15-day delay between when you want to send the customer the invoice versus when you want the payment to run. That is something you can configure and easily set up within your account. There are tons of other options there as well for payment plans and one-time invoices. Again, if that's something you're interested in, anyone on our team, either the support or sales team, would be able to help you out more there. I also have payment terms set in my account, but mine are due on receipt. If there are different payment terms you need for the subscription, just let us know and we can configure these in your account. And then down below that, it's which payment method we should use. If you already have credit card authorization forms or you already have the customer's payment information, you could enter that in right here and set it for auto pay against the subscription. In this case, though, I'm going to go ahead and pretend we don't have that, and we're going to move on to the next step. So if all of that looked good, the next thing is, when would you like to invoice this customer? So in the case where you're not prorating, but maybe pushing this out because the customer is going to start on September 1st, I could select September 1st and delay the invoicing until that date. On the 1st, it will create the invoice and send it to the customer automatically for them to make a payment. But in this case, we don't have all the time to wait, so I'm going to go ahead and invoice it now so we can keep going through this process. Once I click invoice now, because I've manually created this invoice, it's now going to pop open our email templates. These are fully customizable, and so I've got this invoice due template. It's pulling in specific details to the customer with merge tags. I've got my logo that I've uploaded in my account from Rocket Marketing. And these templates are, again, fully customizable. You can change the font, the colors, the sizing, the Pantones for this button, anything you want to, all the way down to the source code. Once your customer receives this email, they'd be able to go in and open this link. When they do that, they will then see this invoice template. So on the right-hand side, Rocket Marketing is my test company. My invoice numbering format is up here at the top. My logo is a rocket ship. And then I didn't spend much time entering my details, or let's say my customer's details, but this could be as robust as you would like. So again, billing address, shipping address, POs, serial numbers, reference IDs, whatever you would like to show on here, we can support all of that and more. Down below that, we will show what products the customer is being charged for, quantity, rate, and the amount. As you can see, I have my gold subscription plan and my discount. On my lower left, I have some extra text here. Again, this is often helpful for wires, checks, potentially any other information you want to share with the customer. You can add that here. And then down on the lower right, we'll show what your total is, what the balance due, and then what payment methods you have connected to ChargeOver. ChargeOver does support about 65 different payment processors, doing a varying number of credit cards, ACH, direct debit, or a combination of those items. If you do have any questions about payment processing, again, feel free to reach out to our team. Happy to provide either resources or links or just share some general knowledge there. For this customer, let's say they're ready to go and they want to pay their invoice. They're going to click here to pay. And in my account, I have both credit card and ACH available. So let's say the customer wants to pay via credit card. I'm going to enter this in. Whoop, too many. Let's go here. Now, once the customer has entered in their information, a couple things to note here on this page. By default, whenever a ChargeOver account is open, everyone will be enrolled into AutoPay. We understand that that is not feasible for all industries and all companies. In those cases, we would enable this AutoPay checkbox, and whether or not you'd like it to be checked or unchecked by default, you just want to let us know. I also have a processing fee enabled in my account. You can see I'm adding on 2.9% whenever anyone uses a credit card to pay. This is not something that ChargeOver is costing you, but this is more protecting your bottom line from whoever is actually running your payments. So that's Authorize.net or Stripe or NMI or Fiserv or whoever is running that stuff. And then from there, if all of that looks good, I'm going to go ahead and click pay. It's going to be super obvious that they paid. There'll be a big watermark right across the invoice. The customer will also get a payment receipt sent to them. They need a PDF, they can pull a PDF. They need to email a receipt to someone else, they can email it to whoever they need to. If I go back to my subscription and I refresh the page, $205.80 is what was charged. My next invoice is going to be on September 7th. You're going to see that's for $250. If I look at my invoice forecast, you can see that the discount line item fell off and we are charging $250 every single month going forward. You will also see that that payment method, because I selected it for autopay, is saved here. And on September 7th, we will create the invoice, immediately run the payment, and just send the customer a payment receipt. There are varying ways in which you could set that up, and that does not have to be your exact configuration. If you have questions on that, again, feel free to let us know. We'd be happy to walk you through what the best setup is for you. Going into some more features within ChargeOver, we'll take a look at admin users and roles. Within ChargeOver, there's a varying amount of access that can be given to your team. Admin users get full access. We also have a sales role and an accounting role that are built in. If you want to provide some other level of access to your team, you can create your own customized role, and you can select granular permissions to allow them to view only or update or only add new. That is completely up to you. The next thing I want to talk about is some of our features. So dunning and reminders, which is a payment was supposed to be made, but it was not able to be taken. What would you like ChargeOver to do? So in this case, mine are all based on subscriptions. Again, if you're using scheduled payments or like payment plans or one-time invoices, you would have dunning groups for each of those individually. But in this case, let's say I have a subscription and the payment method is set for autopay is credit card. Since my invoices are due on receipt, my invoice generation date and my due date are essentially the same. So one day after, if they had a credit card but it failed, I'm going to retry the credit card. And if it's successful, I'm going to send a payment receipt. And if it fails, I'm going to send an invoice past due. And I'm also going to repeat that on the 7th and repeat that on the 14th. The dates, as well as what actions are happening, are completely customizable. You can set those all. You could send an email. You could reattempt a payment method. You could suspend the subscription. You could cancel the subscription. You could send a webhook. There are other items you could do as well. So again, completely flexible to what you would like to do there. Another one of the main features that we see utilized with ChargeOver is our customer portal. This could be a URL that's in your emails. This could be a button that's listed on your website, and we do support single sign-on if they are already logging in somewhere else. But this would allow your customers a separate area instead of the email links where they could go in, view their info, update their password, make a payment, view their payment history, download any invoices that they had, or any number of those items. Again, we give you the ability to adjust that per your requirements. Outside of those items, we also have late fees, which I talked about processing fees, but we can also automate late fees where, again, after so many days of being overdue, either add on a percentage or add on a flat rate, all in the effort of encouraging your customers to continue to move through that AR process and keep them up to date. Moving on to some integrations. Our main integration that we see utilized most often is QuickBooks Online, followed by Salesforce, Xero, and Avalara. We have a number of other integrations here as well. If there's an integration that you want to use but you don't see here, we ask that you do reach out to our team. We are always looking to improve and add on additional functionality within ChargeOver. The last thing I want to do is I want to talk through a little bit of our reporting. So if I go to our report center, we have a ton of built-in reports that come standard. What's nice is you'd be able to go in and pull any specific information that you are looking for, whether that is like your AR aging here at the top. Maybe I want to look at income by product summary. Maybe I need some sales tax detail. I could potentially be doing a rev rec or any other like logs of who logged in or what adjustments have been made, all the way down to like payments and payment methods and just like general customer list and contacts. We also do give you the ability to create your own custom reports, which is super nice. You can toggle on columns, you can filter data and allow you to cut and filter things as needed. In the description of this video, there'll be a link to schedule a demo. Once again, this is Brian Bonoka. Thank you so much for your time today and happy building.